All right, I am going to just dive in right this second. And if there's any way for you guys to turn your videos on, I love it. It's always like so weird if I'm just sitting here like talking to myself. And if there are team members, so I just had twice as many people on our executive call not on here, and you want to give a little nudge of like, hey, hop on your call. I would totally appreciate it and love it, because I'm actually rolling out something you guys have never seen that I'm super excited about. So over the next minute or two, while you want to ping somebody and see if they pop on, I'll just give you a couple little updates from the company corporate wide. So the limited edition of the Ice Delight, the Super Chocolate Tangerine, is still available. So if you've never had it, before it runs out, grab that, or help your team members grab that. It was effective June 16th. The new customer pricing on the packs for people that are on Lifestyle Rewards and not. It doesn't affect current customers, but moving forward. So if you go to isagenixbusiness.com and then you go to the new customer pack pricing, you'll see what it is, but it's definitely going to save money for people who are on Lifestyle Rewards. It's very advantageous to them. So you want to make sure people are staying on it and you're signing them up that way. June 22nd to July 16th. The ISA 2020 code is going to give you 35% off Isagenix gear. So if this is a time where you're looking for a hat, you're looking for a t-shirt, you're looking for a hoodie, a water bottle, something, do it and grab that savings. June 29th, there's a call coming up if you guys want to kind of mark your calendars from that, that they're going to be really talking about our merging with Zija, however you say it, that company globally, and what that looks like in case you enroll people that had a business there or whatnot. So for those of you interested in doing that, the leader in action reports are a little bit delayed. So for those of you tracking your Fiji points, there's a little extra grace months that they're honoring just because they haven't been able to give us those points and track that yet. And then just remember, if you go to isagenix.com and you go to the calls, these are separate than this call, okay? Like, you do not have to get on them, but they're available and they're recorded and you can listen to them on your own time. You're just going through a whole bunch of different leaders to make sure that they're training on the products, training on the compensation plan, whatnot. So this week, like Joanna Cavalcante is training. She's under Tara Romano. That's who enrolled. Abby O'Neill will be amazing on the opportunity meeting. Jamie Lynn Curley is like how to host a virtual watch party. Susan Fly has one about stubborn, kind of sticky pounds and weight loss. So a lot of great training this week if you guys want to be able to hop on that. So I will post the updates always in Dreamers in Action, but I just want you guys to kind of be aware of kind of where that stuff is and where things are happening. So before I get into tonight's call, because I just really want to raise the energy of the call and the vibration, I would love for you guys, last reminder, if you can turn on your videos, but just unmute and say one thing. Hey, Rick. Say one thing that you're grateful for right now. One thing you're super excited about. Isagenix related or not.
Air conditioning.
There you go. I'm grateful for air conditioning. I wish mine would be down. Ryan wants to keep it like you could store meat in our refrigerator, and I'm always freezing.
Health in the community.
Anna, what did you say?
Health and community.
Health and community. Anna went into New York City today for the first time in months. I would be freaking excited. Yeah. Anyone else?
I got kitchen cabinets today. I've had no kitchen since the beginning of May, and I'm super excited to have a kitchen back.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome. Very cool. Good job. Okay, so with no judgment, and I'm going to talk with you guys a little bit here because I'm going to need some feedback. Some of you are not going to really understand what I'm showing you, and some of you are going to be like, oh my gosh, where has this been the last 5 years? But with no judgment, who feels like they sign someone up and don't know what the next steps are? Like, I enroll them, and then what am I supposed to do with them? Or who feels like, oh my gosh, this is my system, this is what I do every single time. I go check, 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 and I know I'm setting them up for success. So feel free too, if you guys want to like type in the chat here, who's like, after I enroll someone, I know exactly how to set them up and make sure they have a great experience, and who is like, I have no clue and I struggle with it and every time is different and I'm a little bit overwhelmed. And Liz is like, I feel all over the place. What comes next? Amber's in the middle. I love the honesty. Kari's like, I've done good and I've done bad with it. So I'm going to show you just something first, which is my, except now I can't even find it. My little process that I do for customers. I'm going to show you this I gotta share my screen. Are you guys looking at my screen? Can someone give me like a heads up if you can see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Very good. Perfect. So here's my like few little steps in not necessarily any order. I would encourage you to take a screenshot of this if you feel like I don't know what to do with someone, or save it to your phone, copy and paste it, email it to yourself, whatever you kind of need to do. And then I'm going to roll into this new document that we've created for business builders. So this send the welcome email with the PDF. This is a file in Dreamers in Action if you feel like you don't have it. I've posted the PDF separately, our welcome email that Anushka Ganji has helped us so much to create, or the welcome email that talks about like how to enroll in IsaBody, how to download the IsaLife app, the link to the pack. It has their username and password in it. You can talk about auto ship in there. Like if you're not using this email and the attached PDF, like you're gonna lose people, okay? So literally, like when I enroll someone, the very next thing I do is send the email, right? Like I have their login and password right there, the customer ID, I send the email with the PDF. And many of our customers are not getting them because I am doing welcome calls to every single person that's joining our team, and I'm like, hey, welcome, you're in great hands with Anna. I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm like, did you get the welcome email? I'm saying Anna's name. I'm not calling her out for not doing this. And they're like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, the PDF and this and that. And they think I'm talking about the PDF or the pamphlet that's coming in the Isagenix pack. I'm like, no, we do things a little bit differently. Or I have cleansers that are like, well, what's my new like snack options? Like, I don't have the wafers. Like, what am I supposed to do for snacks? I'm like, well, in the PDF that's attached to the welcome email, we have a whole list of approved snacks. And a lot of people don't even know that that's in there. So if anybody right now does not have the email, doesn't have the PDF, message me. Just say, I need the email, I need the PDF, I will send it to you myself. And then you basically just keep the draft or the sent document and then you resend it, right? Or like save it somewhere and then you just reuse it every time you get someone new. So the second step is adding people to the Facebook groups. And now this is where it gets a little bit confusing. So take note of this. If you guys are overwhelmed and like who is in what group and why, I will tell you. So Dreamers in Action Preview is for prospects. This is for guests. This is for people that are taking a look and not yet enrolled. So if Kari meets a girl at Cycle Bar, she talks about Isagenix and she wants her to be able to learn more, she adds her to preview. So most people go in there before they're enrolled, but let's say, Christopher, someone reaches out to him and he wants to get started right away. And Chris just goes, oh, I'll add him to Cleansers and Coaches because he's already enrolled. Still add him to preview, because when that person starts sharing and that person has guests, they have to be able to be in that group to be able to add new people and see what's happening. See when Barbara introduces someone, it's like, meet Sharon, we're friends on Facebook and she's looking at Isagenix. Like people are watching the process and they're learning what that looks like. So preview is for prospects. Remember the P's. Dreamers in Action Preview is for prospects, right? Preview is for prospects. Cleansers and Coaches is for customers who are enrolled that want to use the products, that are enrolled on the products. They came for weight loss, they came for energy and performance, they came for sleep, but they are motivated for the products, they joined for the products, but they are enrolled. So if you add someone to Cleansers and Coaches, then you need to message an admin. So it's one of the executives. You guys can figure out who your leaders are, but Kisa, Rachel, me, Alex, Laura, message them and say, hey, I just enrolled this person, and then we can add them. So if you just add them and we don't know that they're enrolled, they're going to sit there pending. So when you're getting people into the Facebook groups, we don't need to know for preview, but we do need to know for Cleansers and Coaches that they're enrolled on this team. And that's because of all the promotions that we do. So if I do a free shipping promo, and there's people not on our team there, like this is still a business and I'm not really super interested in paying some other leaders, shipping costs for an incentive we're doing for our team. The other one is Dreamers in Action, which is the business page. And I cannot encourage you guys enough to add every single person you enroll into the business page, even if they don't want to build this business or they say they don't want to share, because people don't know what they don't know. And they have a judgment of what they think it will look like, and people are inspired. I can't even tell you the amount of people that have decided to sell Isagenix from watching what happens in that page. They saw people's paychecks, they saw the celebrations, they saw the recognition, they saw the gifts, that it creates curiosity. So even if they're not right away saying they want to share, that they want to build, I add them anyways, right? And sometimes I don't do an intro, or sometimes I'll just say like, hey, Amy, I know you joined for the products, but this is where we really celebrate people that are sharing it. You can be a fly on the wall, but I would just want you to be able to see what's happening for other people, okay? And if they obviously are wanting to build, make sure that your introductions distinguish the different groups. So if I add Laura to preview, I'm gonna say, hey, I met Laura on the plane and she's looking at Isagenix. You know, she has questions about the gluten. Who here is gluten sensitive, right? It's very obvious of why she's in there and the value that we can provide. The same when I add her into cleansers. I'm like, hey, meet Sherry. You know, we're long-term friends from Facebook. She just hopped in with her 30-day system. What's your favorite shake? How do you take your ionics? Like, do something that gets people engaging. I'll say in here, this is our private product page. And then with Dreamers in Action, like if I, you know, had just enrolled Jenny and she's super excited to share, I'm like, hey, Jenny, this is our business page. Take a look around. I can't wait to help you get your products paid for and earn a couple $100 this week. You know, like be clear. It's not just like, welcome, Jenny, welcome, Laura, because they don't understand the difference in the groups. And I have a flyer that has all 3 groups with a brief summary that I send to people when I enroll them. I'm like, save this so you understand the differences of our groups. And if you don't have that, message me tonight. I will send it to you. I want us to all have these tools. The only other group that's pretty popular on our team is Freedom Dreamers, and that's Kisa's group. She originally started it because she's in California and was, you know, doing events out there, and all my stuff was in Denver, and she's an incredible leader right now, an incredible mentor. And if you're in there, it's mostly because you're in her downline, but she does things a little bit different than me. There's kind of a lot of crossover for new people and the products and the business, which is fine. I just want you guys to understand the difference of my vision and like things that we've done as like the kind of big umbrella as other teams break off and create their own. So that's the next step. So the welcome email with the PDF, then you add them to the Facebook groups. The next thing you need to do is schedule an unboxing call. So I typically send people information before this because I don't want to go through every single product with every single box with every single person that I sponsor. However, I do want to make sure that I'm setting them up for success and answering specific questions. So if I enrolled Liz today and I would say, hey, I'm going to send you the link to our website, check out step 2. I need you to watch the videos on how to do a shake day, how to do a cleanse day, and then when can you talk this week to go over your specific questions. I want you guys to use the tools. I want you to use the systems. You don't need to be spending 30 minutes with every single person you enroll. Take your accelerator for breakfast, take your accelerator for lunch. Take your shake at breakfast, take your shake for lunch. Like that is not gonna make you guys gazillionaires in this business. Now we do wanna have good customer service, but I want you to use the tools. So our website, dreamersinactionteam.com, step 2, there is an unboxing video. There is someone going through a box showing you how to use all the products, okay? Then there's how to do a shake day, how to do a cleanse day. Like, and you're gonna see a lot of our leaders are gonna be doing a lot more training in Facebook right now and having different lives so that there's other resources that we can be using. But I want you to get in the habit of saying, hey, check out this video, and then I'll call you to answer your specific questions so that this duplicates and it makes it really efficient. But in that unboxing call, you're making sure they're good to go. They understand which products they're using for their supported cleanse days, whether they got whey thins and bone broth, or they have Bia and peanut butter bites, you know, that we're using it to work with the tracker, or if they have the old school way. You want to make sure that you're doing that with them. And it's another time to talk about them getting their products paid for, to bring up, you know, that they are eligible for the Crystal Consultant bonus, helping them find 2 accountability partners. It's a great time to throw out a social media post and create curiosity. The next 2 things are so huge for the retention, you guys. The company statistics of the higher BV ordering and the longer they're a customer, if you get people into IsaBody and they download the IsaLife app, is incredible. Like, this should basically be a non-negotiable. Like, when I am on the phone with an unboxing call, like if I was getting Danielle started and I'm like, hey, have you downloaded the app yet? Oh, no problem. Here, do it right now while we're on the phone. I want you to log in. Here's your login and password. Here's this. Because they're going to get emails and notifications from the company. It's so easy to order. It's so easy to adjust their lifestyle rewards. Like they can do IsoBody right from there. I mean, this is a non-negotiable. Like I want you guys to set that standard. Like if people haven't downloaded it, don't get off the phone with them until they've downloaded it. They can always delete it, but if they use it once, the company statistics are insane of how much longer they'll be a customer and a higher BV. The next one is the IsoBody challenge. So this again is showing that people are going to spend more because they are getting that $200, you know, but it takes time to explain to them that their pictures are not going to be blasted all over if they don't want them to be, you know, it can be private, but that it's accountability, share amazing success stories like Denise Wiggins or Rick Maxwell and people we know that have won money and been honorable mentions. And just the value of that and how you benefit from it. Like I love when Rachel's like, you know, we get $600 a year in free product just for staying in the IsoBody challenge. But if you feel like you're enrolling people and 30 days later they're inactive, part of this is you have to do your due diligence up front. It is worth it to spend time with your new customers and have them for 6 months than to be lazy and skip these steps and then constantly be going inactive. So literally, like this is a checklist for you guys. So the next thing you want to do is schedule a new associate interview. I mean, you're touching base with your people for 15 minutes at a time, you know, weekly. So the unboxing call is the first week or something, right? You can do the new associate interview at the same time or do it a couple days later. But it's the verbiage is like, hey, Sherry, I'm so excited you joined the Summer Shred. I would love to schedule a quick call with you to answer a few specific questions that I can coach you better and really get to your goals. Does tonight or tomorrow work better for you? And the new associate interview is a tool that Kathy Coover created herself. It addresses questions about auto ship and events and what to do when people notice and how they want to refer or if they want to make money. But if you guys are not asking these questions, you're going to miss people that would be open to building this business because they're too timid to talk about it. So if you are at that place, just go through the interview, just ask the questions and follow it. And you'll see people will go, oh, I can get my products paid for, or like, oh, I didn't even know I could refer people to you. Like you will create curiosity in them. I'm a huge fan, you guys, and whether you do your new associate interview on day 5 or these are separate, that's a little bit with knowing your people and the time that you have. But basically, whether it's on day 5 or day 7, the idea was in the first week. You want to schedule a call where you can really talk about this opportunity and do a vision casting call, because in that first week, what happens is people remember how crappy they felt. They remember how tight their jeans were, how low their energy was, what their skin looked like, you know, how many BS things they were craving. And in that first week, they're like, oh, like the angels have sung, unicorn sparkles are coming out of their body. Like the longer you're on Isagenix, you know you feel good, but you forget how bad you used to feel. So there's this sweet spot that you really want to capture people to be able to cast the vision and to be able to show them the compensation plan, you know? And so when people are feeling really good and there's a way to say like, hey, imagine if I hadn't shared this with you, how you'd be feeling. Like, I think it's so important that we pay this forward. Plus, whether or not you want to do this, I'm obligated to show you how to get paid in Isagenix. If you guys have never watched Lindsay Winia's Day 7 call, watch it. It's in Dreamers in Action. But she shows the 10 ways we get paid. I mean, she shows the rank advancement bonuses and the PIBs and the cycles and the executive matches. And people's eyes will perk up. When you first talk about accountability partners, getting $200, $300, $500, a lot of people are not going to be motivated by that. They're going to think it's a lot of work and a lot of rejection for not that much money. When you paint the vision of this compensation plan and you can show how you can make $25,000 a week with this business, you can show the $10,000 up front in bonuses, people look at this slightly different and are like, what? Because what are there other ways of getting there? And if you're not comfortable doing it, I pray, I ask, I beg you, get me on the phone with them. Get Keith on the phone with them. Get Laura on the phone with them. Like just when someone's excited, you know, I'm so glad Melanie's on this call right now, but she used to call them pump-up calls. She was so good at this. She would have someone so excited, and this is partly how Danielle's here today, her sister, and she would just be like, oh my gosh, Lauren, like, I'm so excited to introduce you to Danielle. She just had a cleanse day. She feels amazing. Her kids are still in her shakes, and they're just being celebrated. She'd be like, and here's Lauren. You know, you see her in our Facebook group. She loves to get to know people, and I would just weave it in, right? I'm like, hey, just is it okay if I tell you my story? And I know you joined for the product, but we found so many people love this business, and this is what it's done for families. Like, if you guys are timid, just said, I have no idea how to show someone to get paid 10 different ways. Like, what? Like, if you don't feel like you can show the upfront part of the compensation plan, lean on someone who can while you learn until you get better. I mean, this whole idea thing is just like to not make it weird. But if you're excited, they're excited. You know, I mean, Kelly did a call with 2 of her new girls today with me, and we just went through it of like, what's the possibility? And people need to hear it from someone else besides you anyway. They have to see that this is a cash producing asset. They have to see that this is a retirement fund for their families, you know? And so if you're not talking to people about it, they're not going to do it. You can't just hope that they're going to watch a video, right? Or they're going to learn something and get into action. Like, that's never, ever, ever going to happen. So I'm just bringing it up because I want you guys to know what you have your hands on, but you've got to bring it up and at the beginning when people are excited. So another thing that I can't encourage you guys to do is somewhere in the first couple weeks, introduce them to somebody else. The best gift that we have in Isagenix is our culture, is this community. Don't do them a disservice by thinking like, oh, what are they going to think about why I introduced them to this person, and take that experience away from them. I mean, some of you, I have watched you create incredible friendships from going to events, but even before that, before you roomed together, you got to know each other on Facebook. You got to know each other on these calls. So like, I enrolled this girl who's a firefighter in the West Coast and just a product user, but right away I introduced her to Danielle. And I was like, hey, I want you to meet Jennifer. Like, she's awesome. She joined with this pack. And I was like, Jennifer, meet Danielle. She's an amazing coach. She's another busy mama. If I'm ever not available, I just want to make sure you know that someone's here to support you. Someone's here to help you. And we just coached her together and we poured into her. And as things come up, like, hey, this girl at work asked what I'm doing. And like, what do I say? If I'm not responding because I'm doing a call like this, Danielle can chime in there and be like, oh my gosh, I'm happy to help you. Like, we work as a team. You know, Laura and I have gotten to know so many of Kari's team members lately because a lot of her upline is not building right now, and that's okay. But the same way that we've gotten to know her team, you know, it's like we want to pay them forward. So when you're enrolling someone, will you guys just double check your lines are muted, por favor? I'm like clicking to see if I can mute you. But if you guys can just double check. Oh, I see who it is. Thanks. Anyway, so when you are enrolling them, it doesn't even have to be for the business. Now, if it is, you know, like if Susan was like, hey, I want to, you know, share with my 2 people, I would introduce her differently. Like, Susan, I'm so excited to introduce you to Casey, you know, like, you know, Casey, blah, 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 like same story, however that is. I'm like, Susan's working to find her 2 people. Like, Casey, what did you do? Who were the first people you reached out to? And what did you say to them? Like, we just have this teamwork. We have this culture. We have this camaraderie, but don't take that away from them. Like, just make that a part of your process. I mean, Laura knows my team as well as I know my team because she's in so many of those messages with them. You know, like, I love that I've gotten to know Keisha's team, but pay this forward so that they feel plugged in and they feel supported. And often people work differently with each other, you know, and like, not everybody that I enroll likes my style, but if I can introduce them to Keisha, or I can introduce them to my sister, they might have a totally different experience because there's someone else that they relate to that they can connect with that's different than my style. Okay. And then this last piece here is to discuss lifestyle rewards. Please, you do not want someone to get their box without you talking to them about it, okay? I'm gonna see if I can just, I don't understand why they're becoming unmuted. All right, I did it again, same person. Okay, anyways, so I don't know, like, basically what I was saying is you don't want someone's box to come and them not be expecting it. Like, that is not a fun call. Like, hey, Isagenix just charged my card again. Do you know why? You know, I mean, you're setting people up with lifestyle rewards because we do want them to get the best pricing available and to talk to them about that. But you need to have the conversation. So like, when I enroll someone, I'm like, hey, by the way, I'm setting you up with lifestyle rewards right now because it's going to give you an additional 5% discount than the regular wholesale pricing. However, you're not committed to anything. I'm going to give you a login and password just like Amazon. You can cancel the whole thing tomorrow, or I'll teach you how to change your order each month as you make a lifestyle out of this. This is a wellness company. It's not a weight loss company. So even after you reach your goals, we maintain these products to help you look and feel your best for the long term, right? Our verbiage has to be that this is not a 30-day system. Our verbiage is that the 30 days is a jump start to a wellness company, to a wellness lifestyle, that you have longevity in this, and talk about how long you've been on the products. Talk about why you'll never not be without them. But throughout those weeks, that if you do your unboxing call, you know, a day or 2 after they get their, you know, after the order, and you're doing the day 5, you know, vision casting call and the new associate interview the second week, Their third week, start talking about lifestyle rewards. Hey, how are you at? Like, where are we at in your goal? Do you want to do another 30-day? If it was an athlete who we did a 30-day as the foundation, but now we're moving into the performance product, show them, spend the time to Zoom with them and show them how to change their back office or how to do it in the app, that they see how easy it is to take in and take out what they want, so that they're just not afraid of like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get billed $300 every month. But it's worth taking the time, okay? So this is my little step of things I do. I would encourage you guys to do the majority of them. Now, there is no like, you must do this. It's not like you're gonna get fired if you don't do it, but if you feel like your retention is not great and you're not duplicating, that means you need a system. And so I'm sharing mine. Like, this is a checklist that I used to have written down, and it was on the back of the enrollment form, and now I just have it in my head. Like, I know because I've enrolled hundreds of people and been doing this for years. But if you don't have that in your head of like, okay, I enroll someone, I send the welcome email, I add them to cleansers, I add them to dreamers, I introduce them to somebody else, like I tell them to download the app. If that's not here, to use that. Check it, make sure that you're following things and then teaching your team how to do the same thing. So if I enroll Kelly and all of a sudden she has Gina who's super excited and she's enrolling people, it's like, Kelly, does Gina know what to do when these people get started? You know, Kathy's bringing in a lot of new people. It's like, hey, do your girls know what to do when they're getting people started? And I want to remind yourselves, give yourself a little bit of grace and a little bit of patience as you're learning this. And then of course with others, like there's sometimes I catch it and I'm like, I don't think that person's supposed to be in that group, or something happened. I'll be like, did they? And it's like, oh my gosh, I've told her like 5 times already. I'm like, that's okay. I probably told you 20. So, you know, it's like just kind of a reminder that this business is with volunteers and it's overwhelming for a new person. They're doing it part-time to being a mom, being a dad, having another job, whatever. We might have to tell them 30 times what these different Facebook groups are about, but that's why I have the flyer, send the image. I literally tell someone, I'm like, save this to your phone. Save this image so you can look at it when you're getting confused of where things are. So those are my systems. Now, before I roll into the next one, which I'm actually very excited about, I would love for you guys to comment in the chat if that helps. If you feel like, oh my gosh, like I have a plan, I know what to do. Holy shit, I'm not doing any of those things. Or like, okay, I do some of those, but I know where to improve. Like, I just kind of want to see like if this is something that you guys can use and will help you duplicate and have that action steps. And why I do that, I'm going to pull up the next thing that I'm going to share with you. And then I'll come back and read all those. I'm switching screens here. Sorry, guys. Hang on one second. Sorry. Okay, so now I have to do the share screen all over again. I'm laughing at some of these. If you give a moose, she will follow. That was funny. Okay, let me know. Can you see the roadmap to your success? Can you guys see this? Okay, thanks, Kari. So when I first started Isagenix, someone else gave me something similar to this, and it was like Susan Sly's like playbook to 3-star or something, and I was like, what? You know, I'm like, what's a playbook and what's 3-star? You know, and I look back, I was like, dang, that was really smart. And then years ago we had this like business blueprint document, but I never recreated it, and it's all outdated. Like the bonuses are different, the time around those bonuses is outdated. Some of the verbiage, like that you +2, them +2 is now you share, they share. It's all been outdated. And so with this vision of trying to do things, and Jessica Rigner was working on it with her team, and then I was like, oh my gosh, that's great, and kind of adding in things that are relevant to our team. I'm showing this to you, and the reason it has not been posted and why nobody else has it yet is I want this to be a little bit of a working document. So I would love, especially those of you that are a little bit more experienced, I want you to look at this and say, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like, I wish I would have had this, or I'm so glad I have this now. And also maybe what's missing. Like, remember, like, this is only one lens kind of seeing it. And so if you're going and saying, this is a question I get asked all the time, can we add this in there? Like, I want this to be a little bit of a working document before we finalize it. So as I go through, please use the chat, email me, text me, hey, I think that we're missing this, or hey, I would love this in here as well. But this is our basically onboarding packet for business builders. So the same way I was asking you guys, like, who knows what to do to get a customer started? I know the answer already. If I were to say, what do you do with a business builder? 99% of you have no idea, and that's okay. That's totally okay. And we all have different like styles and different systems. I mean, Rachel, Laura, and I, and Kisa, I know would all have a system, but they're different. And if they're different, it's not going to duplicate. It is so important to understand in this business that systems duplicate, people don't, right? Like Laura can't clone herself, Chris can't clone himself, Barbara can't clone herself, Kari can't clone herself and do it her way. But if we all use the same tools, the same documents, and are speaking the same language, people go, I can do that. I can do that. Someone can save this PDF and show someone else what to do with it, okay? So this is, if you think about if you got a job, if you got hired, and this was your onboarding new employee handbook, this is our how to get started with Isagenix, what you need to do to become a business builder. So Roadmap to Success, it's the front page of it. Here is like a little bit of like an outline. So who do you know, right? Like this is going to show you're going to see the memory jogger on making your list, finding time to work your business, helping with time management. Here's the scripts in here of what do you say, time blocking, the new enrollment checklist, the new associate checklist. That's what I was just talking about. How to share with two people, you share, they share, the map to Crystal Executive, your rank advancement bonuses, leader in action formula, the team corporate call-in info, our team website, and resources, okay? So let's start to go through this. So there's the agenda, you guys, and you could send this to a new builder and tell them to print it off at Kinko's and have it bound. You know, like you could print off 10 of these, and as you enroll a new business builder, have it ready for them and be like, hey, here's your new employee handbook. You know, we don't really call it that, but like, I'm so excited to be able to show you how to build this business and give you the skill set you need. So the very first page here, who do you know? This is the memory jogger. So we are always talking to people how to have a list. If you don't have a list, you can't build this business. But we forget to start here. I think sometimes we go so into this social media and like getting your social media post up that we forget how to teach people the #1 foundation of network marketing, which is have a list of people to talk to. Because if social media closed today, we can still talk to people. We can still get people excited about Isagenix, but not if you're relying on a Facebook post, okay? So this is the very first part of it, teaching people, oops, whoa, what just happened? I clicked on something. Sorry, I don't know what I just did. So here's the very first part. It's teaching people how to make the list, okay? Then it's right there. So imagine if this PDF was in a spiral bound notebook, okay? And you could give it to a builder, or they could send it to Kinko's or Office Max, and it'd be printed out. After they learn the skill set, it's right here. The very first list they're ever gonna make is right here, in that they can track the conversations on what to do. Now, finding time each day to work your business, like this is getting into the EPAs, like what are you doing and how much time of it? So we all talk about IPAs, like is it the 3x3 sheet? Is it the this? Is it the that? What calls should I get on? What should I be doing? Imagine if you could take 3 of your new builders and give them the weekly activities outline. This is what they need to be doing. Like how many meetings are they having? How many connections? How many presentations? In this teaching or training, this is like the business development of your team. This is the team development. This is you spending time rank advancing your team. So step 3 is the scripts. We don't have to send people to multiple places. This is the you share, they share, that comes directly from isagenixbusiness.com. It's also on our website. And when I use this, right now, like I have to always like Google, you share, they share, like Google scripts from Isagenix, and I send the link and blah, blah, blah. And then I'm telling them, and I want you guys to remember this, that these are templates. They don't need to be verbatim, but to use it as a template and then kind of to make it their own, that their personality, their voice comes out. But it's examples of exactly what to text, exactly what to write someone. So when I have someone super excited, like Melanie's like, oh my gosh, I want to message like all moms of, you know, Drew's soccer team. And she's like, that's her husband, not her kid. I said the wrong name. But, you know, she's like, what do I say? I'm like, oh, hey, go here. Like, it's right here. Use this. Here's your template. Make it your own. Then there's the Facebook post. And I want you guys to understand there's a reason this isn't first, and the memory jogger and the list is first, because we cannot just rely on social media. Now, it's an amazing avenue. Many of us came from social media. Many of us have massive organizations from social media. but that can't be the only skill we learn. But when we're teaching people, especially our brand new people, about how to go Crystal Consultant, how to grab accountability partners, it's right here. Of what did they post, right? If they've already started, or if their box hasn't come yet and haven't started, or if it's a progress post, because sometimes people have been on SGenX for 2 months and they can't do the like, oh, my box hasn't even arrived yet. Now they're lying. So there's different scripts in here, whether if their box hasn't arrived or if they've been doing it for a while and they're doing this update. And then it talks about like, how do you respond? Like, what do you do? And it will lead into the ATM. Here's another great page of time blocking. This comes from Erica Rothenberger. She trained on this at NYKO. Or maybe it was Celebration last year, I don't remember. But this is similar to that IPA sheet. This is like, hey, what am I doing and when? So look at the goal here of like 10 to 15 reach outs. This is a day, you guys, but even if you only do this a couple days a week, if you're super part-time, how many cold reach outs of like, hey, I don't know how we got connected, and I would love to chat with you about an opportunity. Are you open to additional streams of revenue? Hey, I don't know how we got connected, but I love your vibe. I think you'd crush it on my team. I'd love to chat with you and tell you what I'm up to, right? Joining groups, private messaging them, going through like other people's friends and friending other people's friends, you know, kind of in this extended warm network. You can track it. Have I done 10? Okay, next. Then you do a second social site. So if it's not just Facebook, maybe it's Instagram, maybe it's LinkedIn. Maybe it's Twitter, like maybe it's Snapchat, wherever you're building. Then the admin stuff, like what are you doing in your groups? Are you adding to the community? You know, are you putting orders in? Are you listening to podcasts? Are you doing birthday messages? Like just things that keep the business moving. And then your ABCs is always be closing. So this is your follow-ups, right? This is like, you know, working with existing customers to place seasonal orders, but this is going to be like where the money comes in. So it's another way to track exactly what you want to be doing. We have the information in here in an ATM. I think on a day-to-day basis, I explain how to do an ATM 20 to 30 times. Like if I could forward you the amount of times, I'm like, add them to this, tag them in this, do it in a message. I will keep explaining it auditorily, and a lot of you will. But if every single business builder you enroll gets this PDF and they print it off, or they save it to their computer, or they save it to their phone and they have it, it's right there. And you can just tell them what page to go look at. Here's the packs. So many people are like, what comes in the pack, right? Or like how you're getting your product paid for. So it shows what the bonuses back are, or what the cost is if they were to share with 2 people with the same pack, for the premium, for the value, and the basic. So you're showing those PIBs up front, and ultimately what they would pay if they got 2 people to join with them. Like we want people to see that they're gonna pay $99 and not $599. With the bonuses are up front. So it's mapped out for them. Then we're telling them, what do they do? So we're casting the vision and then breaking it down exactly what they do, how they share with 2 people, what those bonuses are, what the consultant bonus is, and what's happening here with the Essence bundle and the 25 product coupon, the new team builder stuff. So they can see it all in front of them. So when people say they're not on Facebook, what do I do with them? Because we always post about who's close to the team builder or who's close to Enrollers Club. If they're not on Facebook, they're not getting that notification. They will see that it's right here. We map out you share, they share, then, and the script. So for those of you that are like, I don't know what to say, I don't know how to say it, you can read this, right? Like if I just enrolled Laura right now, and I was like, hey, I want to show you how to get your products paid for. Like you can go through this. This is you share, they share. This comes from David Wood from UIA. And talking about the 2 people and talking to the bonuses and using the neuro-linguistic psychology that's built in here, anybody can read it. The Map to Crystal Executive is in here. So when you guys think about the 90-day game plan, and there's a lot of training in there, and there's a lot of blank pages, there's a lot of scheduling stuff, and people don't end up using that. Every single one of this, in my opinion, is a really efficient document of getting them started. This roadmap to success, some of you might recognize this. This was my slide for Celebration, but it's showing those bonuses, and not only the consultant development bonuses, which is over here, but the Crystal bonuses. So they get the $100 for going consultant. They get the $200 for management. This is how many new consultants that they're creating, that $100 for each new consultant. Where over here, this is the rank advancement bonuses. This is the time sensitive for the leadership. But if you add this up, showing people what the total is, that they can see right there the money that's available to them. Leader in Action is right there, so they can figure out how to track it. Our team call with the Zoom is right there, so we're not telling people every single time. And also the team website with a summary of what each step is. Like just this week alone, I'm like, step 1 is for here, step 2 is for here, step 3 is for here. It's simple, you guys. You understand where you're guiding your team to and what they need to be looking at. And then all of the websites on one page and a summary of the Facebook groups. So that's what I said before. They have the team Facebook groups there with a little summary on each one. And then all of the different websites from Isagenix Podcast, Isagenix Products, IsagenixHealth.net, you know, Start Your Life, everything that they can find in one place. And then there's just a cute picture of all of us. So that is, it's a draft, okay? It's a draft, but I wanted to show it to you guys so that you can process it for a minute. And I'm gonna send it to a few people and definitely want feedback on it. Be like, okay, that's awesome, it covers everything. Okay, maybe that's too much, or hey, I think we're missing this. So one of the things that I'm considering changing is the box that comes from Erica Rothenberger into my IPA sheet. Just that page, because we don't ever talk about that, where I refer a lot more to our IPA sheet in the 3x3, and that's just the language of our team, which it's saying the same thing, but it's presented differently. So that's something, the more I've looked at it and like gone through it, I'm like, I think I'm gonna swap that change out. But if you guys have thoughts, or if you're sitting here thinking like, oh, hey, add this in here, or what about that, or this is something I'm constantly telling people about, this is something I'm doing all day long that we just need to have in one place, I want to add it and then be able to post it now that you guys have seen it. My goal is to get this out to you by the end of this week. Okay, so I wanted to do it on the team call so people can look at it, they can think about it, and then they can start using it. But like anything, if I'm the only one that knows about it and I'm the only one that's using it, it's not going to duplicate, it's not going to help anybody, right? But being getting that to you guys. And then if you print it and you get it into these like cute, that's my vision of it. I can picture like the spiral down thing and give it to someone and then tell them like, here's the PDF. When you bring someone on board that's excited, make sure they get a copy of this. You know, make sure that they know what to do. If every single person was hired at McDonald's didn't get the same employee handbook, they wouldn't be as systematic and duplicative, right? It's one of the most successful franchises in the whole world because they have systems. They get people set up the right way. And this is something I think our team has really lacked, especially when it comes to business builders. Like, I have no idea what to do with people. And every call, like every vision casting call, every show them something is different because no one knows where to go or kind of where they are in the system. That if I got on a call with someone, you know, if Kisa's got new builders lined up, I'm like, hey, did you get the Dreamers in Action Business Builder packet? You know, I'm like, awesome. Did you make a list? Do you have a list of 50 people? Do you have a list of 25 people yet? Like, just imagine how we're going through that. I'm like, do you understand? You share, they share. Have you read this? Have you practiced it? You know, like you can reference this over and over and over again. So I'm super excited about it. I know that's because I have been wanting something, but I want your feedback. Definitely, if you don't want to share on this call right now, you know, reach out to me privately. I'm so open, I'll take it. And just because in my head this makes sense, if you're going, I'm new and that does not make sense yet, I will navigate if that's like, okay, well, it's nice Latin and you're new and this will come around, or you're right, it's totally out of context, so the flow doesn't work and I need to kind of rework it. That's something I'm fired up about, and I think will help us, especially with this like 2.0 and this, all this excitement and the vision that's coming out of Celebration. We're all going to have massive amounts of people joining our team. Like, I hope you guys can see where that's going. It's going to be full of momentum, that if we don't have these things in place, we're going to lose all those people. And I don't want this next wave of people to have the same retention that my first wave had when I started in 2013. Like, I'm planning for that and setting us up for that because I can see where we're going. And just like cross my fingers and hope that you guys then pay it forward as you're bringing people on. The same thing, I could take a screenshot of this, of like what you want to do to get new people started. When you enroll someone, send it to them. Hey, here's your checklist of what to do with new customers. When you get people sponsored, make sure they get into the Facebook groups, make sure they get the welcome email, like those types of things. Same with a business builder. And if we all get in the habit and teach other people, you'll see our numbers will just grow of people we can help, because we'll spend more time working on the business and not in the business, if that makes sense. So that's all I got for you guys tonight. I'm excited. I'm excited for everything that's coming. I'm grateful for all of you, and you guys are going to love a lot of the stuff that comes out at Celebration, but just kind of keep your foot on the gas all the way until Celebration. I mean, the Crystal Executive deadline's in a couple weeks, and just work your hardest. It was so fulfilling when you just see progress in your business. So I'm proud of you guys. Thank you for being on here. you guys are welcome to hang off. I'm gonna hang on just because I want to read the chat. If I close it, I'll lose all the discussion to make sure that I didn't miss anything. But I'm grateful for you guys. Happy Monday. Have a really great week, and we'll see you in a week. Thank you guys for being on here.